William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I welcome you to another Two Hats special of community events. Let's look in and see what's really happening.
All right, now we're going to convene the monthly meeting of the Lions Homeless Forum. As the tradition speaks for this gathering, the first thing we do is we introduce ourselves. And my name is Leon Holman. Myself and Ricky Red to my right, we are co-chair of this organization. And since I have Suzanne Glover.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
And we finish. Ms. Glover is with the library. And we're also privileged to have the esteemed County Commissioner, Ms. Daniel, and her assistant. We have the lovely Ms. Siobhan Moore, who we want to give a round of applause for her phenomenal organization of the meeting that we had last month, which featured the Commissioner and the Honorable Mayor of the City of Dallas. Ma'am, you're in the back with your purse sitting on top of the desk. Could you mind introducing yourself with your bag of goodies in your hand?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Victoria Watkins. I was here last time, well, 2 meetings ago we had one. And I am part of the homeless people. That's
Okay.
why I come to the meeting. So there should be some more people coming. I can go back and tell them what had happened today.
Okay.
I'm coming along, progressing well. I've only been homeless a year. Don't plan on staying homeless. Some things have happened.
Okay.
And so I'm here again in a program, which is wonderful.
Okay.
At City Square.
Good.
As soon as they get it finalized, it's going to be the hospitality program.
Okay.
5 weeks in the prep cook situation. I'm going to get in there.
Good.
I signed up to do my application and everything. Then they, once you get out of that graduate, then they place you in a job. Isn't that wonderful?
Good for you. That's great.
I'm really excited.
So are your housing arrangements
My house-
stabilized yet?
No, I'm still at a shelter, unfortunately.
Okay.
I need to get that work done, though.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
All right. So perhaps we can come up with some solutions afterwards for your housing situation.
We'll talk about it a little later.
Right. Later in the program, in the event. And ma'am.
So good morning, my name is Jennifer Angel, and I am from the Inclusive Community Project.
Okay.
Nonprofit.
Oh, you ICW. Okay. ICP. Okay. And we have our great, phenomenal camera person who you can also, when you can you come up and give us your link so we can see the last meeting? What can you holler it out? What is it? www.
Two Hats Publishing on YouTube.
Two Hats, as in two hats.
Right, two of those.
Two Hats Publishing on YouTube.
One hand inside, one hand the outside.
Okay. Two Hats Publishing on YouTube, and you can view the last meeting that we had. I had it up.
The word,
Two Hats. TWOHATS.
publishing.
Publishing. Two Hats Publishing, and then you can. And I had an opportunity to look at that. It's on YouTube.
No, it'll be on YouTube.
Go to YouTube first, and then type Two Hats Publishing in the search box.
That's right, you can probably follow my experience, when you got to talk and follow my experience. I have the landlord trying to make me homeless after 9 years of residency. He's trying to make me pay the utility bill that I don't owe because my rent includes utility.
Okay. When we do our no card section, can you put that in the no card, and then we'll directly address that. See if we can come up with some solutions for that. Okay. Man, I can't remember your name. As many times I've seen you, which is sorry, my fault. I got too many things on my mind.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Constance Willis. I'm the residential coordinator for AIDS Services of Dallas at Hillcrest House.
Okay. And there's a gentleman in the back with the blue shirt. That's you. Unfortunately, there's nobody back there. Can't do that one. Won't get away with that one.
My name is Ben, and I'm just glad to be here. I spoke to Ms. Daniel already. And
Okay.
I'm going to have, I read a prepared statement at the end. I would like to show a short video. It's only a minute long if you guys can go.
Okay. If you can find a way to project it.
I thought last time you had one. I thought because you're not really.
Yeah, we didn't reserve it. What do you have, like, do you have a computer? How are you trying?
Well, I have my phone, I have it on my phone.
Okay.
I can give everybody the name
Yeah.
when we finish.
Yeah, because, yeah.
Because
And
we
then
have to
that,
request media services if we don't.
right. And I didn't bring my computer this week because I don't have my other stuff. And so, but if we can do it next month.
Anybody didn't sign the list? Anybody?
You can throw it back down here.
I think that's it. Okay, since everybody knows everybody, I'm gonna bring on
Okay. Suzanne.
Miss Suzanne from the Dallas Library,
Hello, everyone.
Public Library.
As I stated earlier, I'm the outreach coordinator for the library. I'm here pretty much every day from 9 to 5. We have a help desk in the very front of the library where individuals who are experiencing homelessness can come and get assistance. And that assistance consists of different things like resume writing, set up email, looking for housing, getting connected to different resources out in the community with our different partners like the Bridge, Dallas Life, Austin Street, unlocking doors, things like that. So that desk is there for anyone who need help or need resources or need information that needs information to connect with whatever services they need to be connected to. I'm not always there at that desk. We have 8 other library staff that sits at that desk, and they usually call me if they can't answer the questions, and I usually try to find the answers that you guys would need. Also here at the Dallas Public Library, we have services that we offer every day from 2 to 4. There should be a calendar that's going around that show all the different services. Okay, yeah, they're right there. On Mondays, we have a program called Managing Mondays. That program just consists of sitting in a room, similar to this room, and we sit down and you get one-on-one services on what you need to manage, whether it's time management, whether it's communication skills, anger management, things like that, life skills. We just sit down, we talk, we converse, and we figure out, brainstorm together what you need help with, and we go from there. Every week, every Monday is a different topic. This past Monday was communication skills. The Monday before then was anger management. Monday before then was time management. We just rotate those topics. A lot of times, if you need something specific that Monday, then I'm there to give you one-on-one on something specific that you're working with. On Tuesdays, we have game day from 2 to 4. On that day, we just sit down and we play games. Those games consist of like Monopoly, Uno. We just have a good time. Just laugh and giggle and try to let go of worries for a couple hours. It's really fun. The attendance for game day is pretty high. It's a good time. On Wednesdays, we have Wellness Wednesdays and music classes. Wellness Wednesday, we use that day just kind to take care of yourself, like self-care. And we do it through art. We paint, we color, we draw, and things like that. And then music classes consist of learning how to play piano, guitar, whatever instrument that you want to learn how to play, you can do it here. And these services are free at the library from 2 to 4 every day, every week. On Thursdays, we have Throwback Thursday or Coffee Conversation. Throwback Thursday is when we show movies. Some of the movies are Throwback Thursday movies, and some of them are current movies. Like a couple weeks ago, we showed Black Panther. So every other Thursday, we have a movie that you guys can come and watch in our auditorium on a big screen. It's really nice. And then Coffee Conversation consists of just coffee and conversation. We make coffee, we converse. Sometimes I might invite partners over to tell everyone about their programs. The fourth Thursday of every month, we have Texas North Food Bank. They come help individuals apply for SNAPs here. Assurance Wireless come also and help individual get connected to a cell phone if you get, if you qualify. Every fourth Thursday. So every fourth Thursday, both of those agencies will be here along with Coffee Conversation. 2 o'clock. Well, Assurance Wireless come around 1 to get a jump start because we get a little line for that. And Friday is Focus Friday. Focus Friday is the day that we just journal. We journal our thoughts, we feelings, we listen to music, and we just journal how the week went. And we kind of brainstorm on how we want the next week to go or what we're going to do that weekend. Or sometimes we just do poems. We put words on the board and everyone has to create a poem based on the words that we all share. Just to give us time to just kind of write and express our feelings. Saturday and Sundays, we don't have any activities, but the library itself always have activities going on, so please check the calendar. All these activities that's on this paper is on our webpage also. And the activities that the actual library have that doesn't go under the homeless forum. I'm always available. This is a big library, so I'm on all the different floors. So if you ever need me or you know someone that want to speak with me, have any of the library associates or librarians call me. They can call me and I come find you and we'll meet and we'll communicate, we'll converse about what you need or who you need to be connected to, and I'll try to connect you to that resource. Yes, ma'am.
Miss Susan, you said that you guys do resume writing and what else?
Resume writing, we help search for jobs, we help look for housing. We do just about anything that we can do to help.
Okay. What about SNAP?
On Snaps, every fourth Thursday, they actually come here.
Okay, so for the fourth Thursday, I heard you say something about an insurance.
Assurance, wireless.
Assurance.
Assurance, yes.
Okay, assurance who?
Wireless.
Okay, so that's the phone. And then who else?
That's it to come on every
Two people
fourth.
Come on fourth Thursday.
Yeah, that's it. Snaps.
Oh, okay.
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 Yes.
Gotcha.
And they usually bring like 3 representatives on that fourth Thursday, so the wait's not that long. And sometimes with the homeless population, they already have the cards there because they don't have an address for them to mail the food stamp card to, so they already have it on hand to go ahead and give it to them to get the services going. So that's, they bring everything they need from emergency food stamps. They have it right there with them to go ahead to get the services going. In some cases, not all cases. In some cases, that does happen though.
That is if they have current Texas Field ID.
Yes. Is there any other questions?
Mine is, it sounds like you have a very interesting category. Would the general public be interested in seeing that overall?
It's on the our webpage also. Everything I just stated is on the Dallas Public Central Location webpage.
Well, I know that I'm talking about, you talk about how to get jobs, we talk about where it's successful, certain subjects might be interesting for people on the outside of the library.
Right. I'm not sure how much you mean the question
In other
though.
words, you can teach these people, teach 25 people, like you teach 100,000.
He wants to broadcast.
Oh, you want to broadcast? Okay.
It's up to you.
We do video.
But he like,
Okay.
like he's doing this.
Right. Okay, we can talk later and discuss how we can do that.
This is your email at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Last question, Ms. Susan. For the Assurance Wireless, are there any qualifications?
You had to have received some type of government assistance, whether it's Medicaid, SNAPs, something like that. You have to have a state
Is there
ID.
minimum or maximum? Is there a minimum or maximum?
No.
Income? Yes.
No.
Income.
Income. As long as you're receiving some type of benefit, whether it's SNAPs, Medicaid, then you qualify.
Okay.
And you can only get one per household. So it may be a little tricky for you guys.
Right. Well, what they've been doing,
Not
like,
my building,
Okay,
because I'm concerned.
okay.
okay. So if you have someone that you are really, that you want to connect with services or several, if you call me ahead of time, we can schedule another time just for your building to come over to the library. Right. One of the barriers with this, like, for example, we had a lot of individuals doing the bridge and using that address, and
Yep.
they stopped it because there was too many people using the bridge. The same address.
That's what I was thinking, because I can't use my office address anymore, because I've got 3 phones delivered.
Okay.
And so we're having a problem with our office
Right.
address.
They was doing it for a while.
Mhm.
I think ours maybe like 20, and then said, okay, stop.
But since y'all have an individual coming, you may be able to talk directly with someone to see if,
Right.
you know.
And if you have like a apartment number you can use, or like say they live in like a dorm style,
Right.
dorm 1,
Yeah.
dorm 2, then it looks like it's an apartment complex,
Gotcha.
something like that.
What it is?
You thought you'd have a drop off service, they do away with it?
A drop-off service?
Yeah, and you buy.
Dropbox, you mean from voicemail?
Well, they have that too, but, or they used to, but it's for mail.
Yes.
Yes.
It's your mail,
Yeah, you should just mail it to DuPont.
but you have to have a physical address for the assurance.
Oh, okay.
Right. And then some representatives, but not all, want the address to actually match the address on their award letter, showing that you get your services. For example, if your award letter states the bridge, then, no, if you give them the bridge address, for their application, then that same address need to be on your award letter. Does that make sense?
It does. However, I do have some residents that have a payee, and the address is different from the physical address that they live at.
Okay. So what address we use for their, do they get snaps? Like food stamps?
Some do, some do.
It has to be the address where they're receiving the services for, like snaps. So even though they have a payee, and the address may be different for their payee for benefits, their SNAP address may be different also. So when they do the application, they need to use the address that's on their application for SNAPs.
Gotcha.
Those two have to match.
Sounds like you may need to come down here one Thursday and talk to some of those caseworkers and get some
I
of
would
those
definitely
questions.
send our
Right.
outreach.
If you send an outreach person over, let me know in advance. I can contact that outreach person for the cell phones, and then we can be here at the meeting. I mean, at the library.
Sure.
Because I don't want to give you no wrong information also, because that's not my thing.
Understand.
The way I understood that is that it's not necessarily the address that disqualifies you, it's the fact that a whole bunch of other people have already used that.
Right, exactly. Right. So it's not the address.
You say the stew pot, and you've already got 20 or 30 people that have already used the stew pot address, they're going to go through the computer.
Exactly.
Same way with the bridge and UGM and
Exactly.
wherever you're
It's been kind of like hit and miss. Sometimes it will go through, the computer don't read it that fast, and sometimes it doesn't. The video come to the library, they bring the actual phones, like a lot of times if you go online, they have to mail you the phone, but they're actually bringing phones that day and giving it to the individuals that day. So it's just hit and miss. Some go through and some don't.
So so it sounds like we need a solution for this issue.
It's just, that's on Assurance Wireless end.
Right.
And so I've talked to them, and they have not figured out how to understand that this is a shelter and it's for homeless people, because they typically don't serve that population. It's typically for people who are in an apartment or a house or
Right.
something.
Okay.
So the problem is on their end.
Right. I know
And I've talked to them.
a few times at the bridge, the individuals who actually stay at the bridge, we would say AT&T, Corsicana, MAC, 75.
Right.
And then it may go through. But then again, you get someone different to come that is very, very, detail oriented, that the MAC 75 is not on their letter for the ward letter. So it just depends.
The way I understood it, it's a state program set up because if you go and apply for food stamps, the cost of your phone is not included in the formula. So in other words, let's say you're paying $30 a month for your phone. Well, the way the formula looks at it is, well, that could be $30 you could be spending for food. So they set up a program for people to keep, so that they can have, because a phone is a necessity. I mean, it really is. If you're looking for work,
Right.
you need a phone, but yet the food stamp program does not include that as a necessary expense.
Right.
So they set these programs up to cover that.
Right, and that's exactly why we had both of them coming on the 4th. Because, you need something, you need the food stamps to eat, you need snacks to eat, but you also need a cell phone to look for a job. So we're trying to close those bridges, those barriers that we have with trying to get back and help, because both go hand in hand. Is there other questions?
Well, I got one question, and that is the public's viewpoint and opinion about homeless people using the library. What's wrong with that? Well, I mean, some people can be scared. They're not scared of me. I'm not homeless anymore, but I go out and get in line with all the homeless people. It's not a big deal. But for some people, they're scared of homeless people. And so, one issue is, I'll just throw this out there, and that is for people that are not in a shelter, that they haven't taken a shower in a while, and they get into an elevator. I would like to see the library set up a program of basic life skills and have some freebies, some things like
That's what we do have those things. We pass out those things as you ask. And that's one of the things I'm responsible for also. And it's not just for homeless individuals experiencing homeless. They may have an older issue or may need that. It could be for anyone. Because everyone that comes to the library comes for different reasons. And it's not just homeless population that may have it for older. It could be strong cologne that is overbearing for someone. So it could be different reasons. And so when that happens, one of the librarian or librarian associates will call me. If it needs to be addressed, I will go up and address that at that time. And again, it could be anyone. It could be you. It could be Siobhan. It could be any odor that's offensive. that needs to be discussed. And all the time, trust me, it's not always just the homeless.
Also, you can get that shower man to come up here sometime.
Well, that's a different conversation.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Yes, that's a different conversation, and we do pass out deodorant, we pass out soap. I do go, if I have to speak to someone, and I do educate the staff, because I'm responsible for training the staff, about our calling, about the bridge, places where they can't go and shower. Because what we don't want to do is address an issue and don't have a solution for that issue, if that makes sense. And we address it to everyone, not just the homeless population, because it's just not the homeless population that has a smell. You know,
Okay.
some people who have a home don't.
Okay, so about the situation about what you said that people should be scared of homeless people. Well, I was a normal person. I was fit to where like, I was okay, you know what I'm saying? But now since I'm homeless, it's like, it doesn't affect me from being normal to being homeless. It's like the same thing, but like it's different categories. You know what I'm saying about the stinking and stuff? Yeah, people do stink. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe.
But you just gotta hand them deodorant or some lotion just to clear their smell.
Right, and you guys,
Or you can just go take a.
please keep in mind, trust me when I tell you this, it's just not homeless population, okay? It's just not
It's not.
the homeless population, okay?
Normal people stink too.
But I think what Ricky was saying is that some of our neighbors here in downtown are not as open to, I don't even know what's going on. Okay, hold on. Some of our neighbors here, yep, I like Beyonce. Some of our neighbors here are not as open to the homeless population coming into the library.
Right.
But the library has taken a step forward and decided to embrace the homeless population. For one, to give them a place to go outside of the elements. And then, they're coming here. This is a public place. We can't turn them away. So
Right, and we don't want to.
since they're here, let's just figure out how we can make both populations comfortable, homelessness and non-homeless.
Right.
And so I think you guys have done a great job of
Thank you.
marrying the two.
Thank you.
And
And
that's
that's,
you can.
right, and that's my role. I try to communicate with everyone. I go to every floor. I engage with everyone, whether you're homeless or not homeless. I don't know who's homeless, who's not. So I speak, I communicate, I converse with everyone that's in this library and ask them how you doing, is there anything I can help, whether you're homeless or not. And then they voice their opinion, like your concern of being scared. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation, and hopefully at the end of that conversation, I give you some safety and security with being here, whether you're homeless or not.
But at the end of the day, you shouldn't judge people the way how they look and how they smell and stuff like that.
Right. Is there any other questions?
No, but I do want to make a comment about that. We understand what you're saying, because I'm homeless too. And I've had people come up and start talking to me, and they'll say something, and I say, well, I'm a homeless person, and their face will just drop. But they're not judging them, but she's right about some people refuse to come places where they can get some help. Like, there's this man that I saw this week, and I've seen him twice, and he's been homeless for like 30-something years, 20-something years.
Yeah.
He has, you know what I'm talking about, tall, dark skin, and his clothes are just tore all up, and he has no shoes. Well, his shoes are raggedy.
Yeah.
But he's a very intelligent person.
Yeah.
But he'll start talking, and he'll just talk out of his head. And I was on a train a week ago too, and a man jumps on and start talking out loud. He was kind of like jumping at people, making them uncomfortable. So that's basically kind of what they're talking about. They made me uncomfortable. And so, it just depends on where their mental state is and where they are as far as what their needs are being met or not. So yeah, there are some scary people. We're not judging.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like some people like jump at you. They probably ain't had their medicine. Some of them take medicine and some of them don't, but they probably just like that because they've been homeless all their life and they probably ain't got no mind or no sense to even think that why would you jump at me like that?
Right.
But I don't mean no harm. I don't do all that.
Right.
I'm
Right. And
chill. I'm a chill person, but at the same time, I feel uncomfortable too when somebody just jumps at me. You know what I'm saying? But Y'all just let it go, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you jump at me? I'm sitting down minding my own business. Why?
For different categories, like you said. So there is help, if they want help. That's what we're saying, if you're off their meds, then you get back on the meds.
Right.
You know.
And that's another reason why I'm here. My background, I have a master's in professional counseling. I've been a behavioral therapist for like 25 years now. So I'm trained, equipped to deal with an array of different mental health services. Whether it's behavioral, someone that's off their meds, mental health, whether it's substance abuse, I had the skills and the training for a very, very long time to deal with that. So if those things happen at the library, we know those things happen. We are taking precautions to try our best to meet everyone's needs. That's why the library chose to get someone with a clinical background, myself, to come in to address those things when they happen. The staff is trained also to address those things, and they call me, they see it happening or about to happen. You know, someone that's kind of walking around looking unpredictable, having, you know, different things going on. They'll call me, and I'll come up and I'll address it. Even though I work in the library, my background is all clinical. 25 years of strictly clinical mental health, substance abuse, master's in professional counseling. I'm very skilled at what I do. You ask me something about the library per se, a book, I don't know. I don't know anything about the library, the book system, but when it comes to mental health, substance abuse, behaviors, I am the person. And that's why I'm here to address all of it, okay? To help everyone feel safe, because we do want everyone here, and we're trying to do our part to help everyone be safe and come to the library, regardless of where they at in their life, okay?
I would just like to give you a commendation. It's very good that you're doing this, helping homeless people. You know, one of the things about libraries is the role of the library has changed.
Right, exactly.
You know, everybody's carrying a library around with them in their pocket nowadays.
Right.
So books, even though I still like to read books.
Mm-hmm.
I like Star Trek novels.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't read books or read a newspaper or anything anymore. It's just things have changed.
Right.
And so the library has changed with the times. And so now the library has become a hub of different types of services.
Mm-hmm.
Some is entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And some is educational.
Right.
And so that's really good that the library, at least this library, I don't know about other
We're trying. We're
places,
trying.
has changed with the time.
Right. And also, before I leave, and thank you, because I'm glad you see that that's what we want to do. We want to change with the times and be there. And also, if you guys see anyone that's experiencing homeless or just hot and they're close by the library, we are passing out. We're not on this list, okay? But we are passing out cold water to anyone who needs one. And please reinforce, every neighborhood have a public library. They can go in there and get the heat, okay? Every library, stay in the library all day. So just kind of reinforce that, let everyone know that we're here. Come in, get your nice cold bottle of water. Try to reinforce recycling the bottles, you know, or refill the bottles, because we don't want the bottles, you know, spread throughout the grounds of the city or on the property, but please just reinforce it. Hey, go to the library, they get you some cold water. I will go find them some cold water, okay?
All branches have that?
Yeah, well, all branches don't have the water, but all branches do offer the services that come in, okay? This branch have the water. That's something that I'm doing because I'm here at this branch, and we got donations coming in because of this reason, because of the heat. But all branches want individuals to come into the library. Every community has a library they can go into. So don't forget about us, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we give her a hand? That great presentation.
Oh, and the coffee is here now. So if you guys want coffee. I'm sorry?
So you're the person who made the coffee.
I know, right? Kids can find a different pot.
Make sure she understands that we are grateful.
I will.
Now we have, I want to make mention, Mr. Robert Ciccarelli there, he just, he got an outstanding endorsement from Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Caraway, concerning his efforts to get homelessness dealt with. And we obviously want to thank him for his hard work.
Thank you.
And so
pretty.
we want to acknowledge that whenever somebody does something positive, we want to make sure that everybody understands what's going on, that we have other people working. And so now, moving forward, we have the lovely Miss Siobhan Moore, and she's getting ready to give us some updates.
Yep.
And so I'm going to let her take the floor.
All right. before I go ahead and, we're going to be short today just because I'm on vacation, but I wanted to spend my vacation with you guys. So we're going to be a little bit shorter than normal. We had a speaker, but she had an emergency and called me this morning, so that's why I just came on up. I wasn't going to try and put this off on another person. Anywho, so I wanted to just go over the transportation information just a little bit to let you guys know where we are ending up. I have not received the final report from DART yet, but just to remind everyone, the DART program does end June 30th. So if you were able to purchase a reduced DART ID, you can use that through June 30th. After June 30th or before June 30th, look on the DART website at dart.org and go to the DART store and see if there are other discounts that you may be eligible for. I'm going to meet with them in July to see if there are going to be any changes to fare policy as it pertains to the homeless population next month. And the reason why I'm meeting next month is because we have to wait until the program ends to analyze the data. I have to do some reporting to DART, so we're giving it a little bit of time. But just to let y'all know, total enrollments in our DART program from January to June, we added 285 people in the program. So a total of 285 people were enrolled, but of that, 131 purchased the pass. So again, we fell just a little bit short, but 131 was definitely an improvement. And a couple of people were removed from the list because we could only put 200 names on the list at a time, and so I'd have to take someone off after a certain amount of time to allow for another person to go onto the list. So, but 131 people as of May 31st. So there were some additions done this week, and I just haven't gotten the full report because I've been off. So we'll see if they will allow us to continue or what the new changes will be. We will see moving forward how that's going to look. I'm not sure yet because I haven't talked to them.
The Office of Home Solutions, we had the director out at the 616, and I brought that up about this discount, and we need to try to get with them because when they start doing their shelters and
their pop-ups,
then we need to try and see if we coordinate this program with their pop-ups so those people can.
Well, from my understanding, and it's just my understanding, they're going to provide transportation to and from the pop-up locations.
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't.
Well, I mean, if wherever they pick them up and take them off, and drop them off, after that, then they're still on their own.
Correct. That's how it is now.
I want to see if we can, so we can get our numbers up.
Well, we don't have the program anymore.
Okay, because
the program was a pilot program.
Right, it was a pilot program.
Right, and so it's ending on June 30th.
Right, okay. So, I'm saying for future reference, we have to determine if they're going to do it again.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So I don't know if they're going to do it again.
We'll have to wait on that then. Okay.
Robert.
I doubt that that pop-up program.
What did you hear?
Okay.
What's that?
City council does not want them in their district, okay? And complete chaos, they don't know what. Is it gonna be everyone going downtown, or is it just the people on medical that are gonna be transported? I don't know. They don't know nothing.
Okay.
I call the office of no solution.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll with it.
I see.
Don't worry, I got this under control.
Okay. All right, Art. Did you have a comment?
Is that in the past, if they publicize it more, they'll get more people to sign up.
We did get.
There are people who would sign up, but they don't know about that the program even exists.
Well, like I said, 285 people were enrolled in the program, but not everyone went and purchased their pass.
What do you think the potential is?
What'd you say?
I mean, can you give me an estimate? How many people do you think would be interested in this if they knew about it?
Well, like I said,
what's the potential?
285 people were informed and signed up. Of that 285, 96 people were enrolled and didn't go purchase the pass.
No,
So that's all.
But she can't give you those numbers, she doesn't have
the
that.
potential. I mean,
I'm not sure if
they're always
the
estimating things.
I can't forecast that information.
Like you think there's a potential that a couple of thousand people might sign up and think about it?
I highly doubt it. Even if we had a couple thousand to sign up, our numbers still show that a little less than 50% didn't go and purchase.
Now, are we talking about the city of Dallas specifically, or the entire area that's serviced by DART?
We are talking about the continuum of care, which covers all of Dallas County and Collin County.
So that means that would include Plano too.
Yes.
It,
Hold on one second. Yes.
Yeah, well, instead of putting money into the Office of Public Schools, putting money into the Life Foundation.
Oh, okay.
That's ridiculous, okay? Why don't they have to put the $2 in petty cash fund for the people to use it for that? It'd be more usable than holding the city, what's the name, that place, the Life Foundation?
Dallas Life.
Holding the homeless hostage from the city to pay $50, $12 a night.
Okay.
You just pay $2 for the homeless.
Well, again, the program will end June 30th. Yes, sir.
It sounds like to me that after June 30th, that we're going to need to come up with a new plan.
Yeah, we'll have to go back to the drawing board
We'll have
and
to go back to
Yeah.
square one and coordinate with DART. Eventually, the fares are going to go up. It's,
they're going to increase as of August. So let's not shy away from that.
So when the fares go up, and it could be that the fare, it may not be just the fares, but there may be a change in the way the fares are charged. You got your
Right.
midday pass and your 2-hour, well, all of that may change.
Mm-hmm.
And so if and when it does, which there's going to be some changes, that we're going to need to get together and come up with a new plan.
Correct. So we'll see. I guess what we'll do when I meet with them in July, I'll report back in August what the findings were, and then we will see what we want our plan to be moving forward.
And one of the things we can point out when we present our new plan is how it has worked for 100, and how many people did you say signed up? 100 out of 200?
No, 131.
131 people.
But that's just for this year. There was a different number for last year.
So it was successful to a point. And so point out our successes and then a new plan going forward. And so that looks like to me that's what is going to have to happen.
Okay. I know we had talked about, and this is something we will talk about in August. We had talked about the city or someone funding us a commuter bus that just a connector bus that connects us to the different places that we need to go, like from Austin Street to Dallas Life to the bridge to UGM to Parkland. Just go in a circle like they have in Houston. So we'll bring that up again when we start talking about our new plan in August.
Cindy was going to get a grant for that. What happened?
In Houston, it's funded through a city grant. And so I'm assuming right now the city is thinking that housing the homeless is more important than transporting them. That's just my assumption. And so they're putting the funds towards housing and not so much into transportation.
Okay.
And the whole idea of getting a pass, I mean, you may not be able to get both. You may be able to get one or the other, and it looks like, according to what Siobhan is saying, they're putting the money into housing. So, you need to get your $20 up or whatever, $40 and get you a day pass or a monthly pass or something to, until something else comes up. So you do have an option.
Yes, sir. Hold on one second for me. He was next. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm building up a number of topics over a period of time. Now, one thing is, when I was in Houston, I was on that
the commuter
that you mentioned, and it's a free ride on a fixed route, but you have to have a ticket. But you get free tickets. They're free tickets. You get them at specific locations.
Right.
And then you get to give the driver the ticket when you get on, and it runs Monday through Saturday. The last time I checked.
Correct.
And the other thing I was going to mention, do you have, as part of the DART program, do you have the comparative figures for last year?
When I do the analytical report after the June 30th.
Because you mentioned that you were mentioning about that they had.
I will have it once I make the report for this period.
What I'm driving at, the number's higher for this year.
I can't remember. Because last year we did it from January to December. And then, so I can't remember off the top of my head what the number was from January to December. This year we only did it from January to June.
So you could, but they could work.
But yes,
Period.
Yes. When this period closes out on June 30th and I do a report, I will do a comparison of what we did over the entire period. Because remember, we initially started August of 2016 and we went August to December for the first go round, and then they came back and said we're going to extend you for the whole year of 2017, and then they gave us another 6-month extension.
Okay, now when you just mentioned August, that reminds me that they could do this on a fiscal year basis too, not just a calendar year.
Well, right, and they were doing it as a pilot. Again, this was done as a pilot program to see if it would work and how transportation affects the homeless. So once I create the report, they'll be able to tell that.
Okay, now the other thing about the fare change, do they already have their mind made up what the changes are going to be, or is that still up in the air?
I'm not sure.
Because what I was going to mention on that, I've been in other parts of the country where the transit system does a zone system, where if you're staying in one basic general area, the fare may actually drop. The basic fare may actually drop if you stay within the one zone. But then they would, to go to, say, from zone A to zone B, then you have to pay an additional amount, and to go to zone C, you have to pay an additional amount. But if you're in one zone, you stay there, the basic fare might actually be less than it was originally.
So what I heard,
whether that is considered that a possibility.
Yes. What I last heard, and I don't know what direction.
A lot of people don't go on long trips all the way across the country.
Yes. So what I last heard was that it was going to be based on the distance that you went. So correct. It's very similar to what you're saying. So if you were,
Why don't you let her respond?
if you only went maybe 2 miles up the road, you wouldn't have to pay the full $5 day pass rate. You just pay a portion for the amount of time that you were on the bus. So if you only were on there 20 minutes, for instance, you just pay 20 minutes worth. So yes, they were considering doing something very similar to what you're talking about.
This wouldn't necessarily be on a cash basis. I mean, like, they could buy a one-zone monthly pass or a two-zone monthly pass, as the case may be.
From my understanding, it'll be a...
people are on a fixed income, they really should be paying out more money than they should.
From my understanding, it'll be on a prepaid card, and you will prepay to go. So for instance, if you know you're going to be out and about today, you go ahead and pay the $5, but you may only use $1.25, and then that way you would have some money for the next day. Okay.
No,
all right.
What I'm trying to get is,
I understand what you're
saying. If they use the public transportation enough that they could buy a monthly pass and they would reduce the cost. Because
yes.
I know people that use the bus every day and they still pay it every day, rather than buy the monthly pass, because they tell me they don't want to charge the money, but they're paying a lot more.
All righty, go ahead.
Let him go ahead, because when I hear what the outcome is of what DART's going to do as far as discount, then I'll tell you my idea.
Right, because we don't see. We are cooperating with DART. They make their own policy. So anything you say in here about how a fare is going to be determined, they determine that. The best place to talk about that is at their meeting at DART headquarters. Because here we can't change any policy.
And that has been, my idea wasn't that. My idea was something totally different that had to do with the shelters and the caseworker side.
Right.
When you find out what you find out, then I'll let you know.
Okay.
Why don't you ask the Director of Homeless Solutions, Siobhan?
Monica.
Instead of paying hostage money for homeless people stay at the Life Foundation, why don't you have them just pay the $2?
I'm not going to ask her that.
I'm trying to say it's so more effective that way.
Nah, I'm not going to ask her.
It's the only way DART's going to accept it.
I won't ask her to choose transportation over housing because we have too many people unsheltered right now. But listen, what we can do is ask if some of the money can be, if a small portion of the money be used for transportation. And that's what I'm saying. I can make that ask. But I can't ask her to use the $12. What I'll ask is, can you have some money available for transportation?
That way you don't have to be canceled.
Yeah, I got you.
And that way maybe we can get it done before the end of June, because
I got you.
It's only $100.
Okay.
or whatever.
So I'll report on that again in the future months. But I wanted to make sure that everyone knew where to go because it is getting hot. And so, did you have a question, young man?
I do, like, well, I was in the Oakland church over there.
Oakland? Okay.
Like, I know where the homeless at, homeless people at, somewhere there, like this more, like, every morning, like, they give out free day passes, like, that was like, the honest thing to do, like, he just gave us 3 day passes, we signed up, like, I did not know I got that, I mean, to be honest with you, when I first time got my own day pass, it was active, like, it wasn't inspired or nothing. It just gave us like day passes so we could get on the buses and trains.
Some agencies will give you day passes if you have some places to go. Like if you had a doctor's appointment or you needed to go to another shelter, yes, they will provide you with, some shelters will provide you with transportation if it's in their budget. But back to this, so I want to make sure everybody knows where to go because it is getting hot. And so this list is the recreation centers that you can go to. Some of them have the water park attached to them. The one by my house has a water park attached, so you can definitely go there and cool off. But don't get too hot and get in the water because that could cause you to become ill with the heart attack if you cool down too fast. So just, yeah, if you cool down too fast.
Hypothermia.
So just make sure that you're using those water parks the correct way.
Oh, was it mentioned where people can go to get that list?
We passed it out. Did you not get one?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. So this list,
I'll do something.
yes.
I mean, like,
I got you.
Shelters and the library.
I got you.
They can go to get that.
So this list is available on the City of Dallas's website, which is where our office got it from. A shorter path to get to it would be to just go to MDHA's website and click on agency resources, and it's there. But it is on the City of Dallas's website, dallascityhall.com. This is there. But again, the libraries are not listed here, but like Suzanne said, you can go to any library. You are welcome there to remain cool. And then we've been meeting with our office, not me specifically, has been meeting with some faith groups to try and come up with some places to go when it's too hot at night, and then also in the wintertime when it's too cold. So we expect some movement from that coming out pretty soon, in case the city doesn't do their pop-up shelters, or in case we need the pop-up shelters and something else. We'll have several opportunities.
Participating in those meetings, it is that, it would be pop-up shelters plus emergency shelter for inclement weather.
Okay.
Wait.
Hold on 1 second. Yes, sir. Oh, go ahead.
Wait, they didn't have any homeless shelters for me because,
How old are you?
I'm like, to be honest to you, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just need a homeless shelter to stay just in case I could
Okay.
better, because I really need help because my mom just kicked me out.
How old are you, young man?
21.
Okay. Have a seat, and I'll get you some information before we leave. Okay.
Like, you got any like homeless shelters I can go on?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need one now because I'm homeless as hell.
All right. Give me just a little bit. Once I'm finished, I can talk to you, and we'll come up with a plan. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to talk about today, last month, you guys did an awesome job of receiving County Commissioner and the Mayor here to talk about our barriers to homelessness. And so I took a lot of notes. I got 27 comments on this paper. Some of which I have no idea how we are going to work on them. And some of them were, pretty simple fixes. But I just wanted to get feedback from those of you who were at this meeting last month to see how what your reaction was. What's the post on it? Go ahead, Ricky.
Well, one of the things is, the mayor, he brought something out that really hadn't really occurred to me before, and that was my statement about the $40,000 per year of the super users, that it's costing the taxpayers $40,000 per year. He said that it's not $40,000 for one part of the government, it's fragmented.
Right.
And so this person pays 20% and 20% and 30%. And so, and that's part of the problem, is nobody is footing the whole bill.
Right.
Except for the taxpayers themselves. That really never occurred to me before, quite frankly. I never really thought of it being fragmented like that. I just seen the one figure, the $40,000. And so I'm not sure exactly what to do, what can be done about that to help the different people understand that you're all should be in this together, that you're footing the bill.
So it goes to hospitals, jails. We're talking food stamps, all across just all across different people are getting that 40,000 from different funding sources, not just from HUD or like we are or HHSC or anything like that, but definitely different funding sources. So I'm glad that you picked that up. Because it's not the city paying 40,000 for one person or my agency paying 40,000 for one person. It's us collectively. Anybody else have any comments?
They talk about housing at all. The biggest thing that came out of that meeting was paying tickets. Or maybe it was, am I right or am I missing something?
The meeting was a listening opportunity for them. They wanted to hear from the actual homeless what they thought, what we think our barriers are to getting housed. So yes, there were some comments made about tickets, and we were easily able to say, oh, go here at this time and that day to get that solved. So I think I had like 3 comments about some tickets where people, so yes, you're right. It was not only about tickets though, but it was a listening opportunity, and it just so happened that some people had that issue.
What blows me away is I just found out Dr. Woody told me there's 100 to 150 people waiting for housing at the bridge because of the vouchers. But was Angel Lomax here last week at the meeting?
Last month, yes.
See, that bothers me because...
What do you mean? You mean they have vouchers?
They have vouchers, they can't get housed, and Dr. Woody came to me for help because the last meeting with the Home Solutions in front of the City Council, it was very, very disheartening. And City Council did not know about it, County Commissioners did not know about the 100 to 150 people, excuse me, and Dr. Woody is coming up to me saying, what can I do? What can I do? Me, and Andrew Lomax was here, and this didn't seem like it was a concern because the mayor was here. And I was found out to be the number one concern about people waiting for housing, and they're not getting any action at all. And it seems like Dr. Woody and Andrew are keeping it quiet. I've asked them many times to speak up about it, and nothing is happening.
Okay, but you can't say excuse me when you interrupt other people.
Well, no, what I'm trying to say is that it's my time, and I'm just saying something.
Okay, well, you got to remember that when somebody else is talking.
I'm just trying to say what is the truth, okay? This is the truth, what's going on right now. And now Dr. Wood's going to meet with the needs, one of the commissions for the city council, because no one knows about it, and they get in trouble about it, and that's unexcusable. And I'm just saying, Merkel said maybe 150 people. So that's a very trouble. How that could be acceptable, how that can ever happen. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say is, and just no one opens their mouths. I'm the only one to open my mouth at these meetings, and everyone keeps their mouth quiet. That's what I've been saying all this time. That's what's going on.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
It's very well known that the City Council and the Dallas Housing Authority are very well aware. As a matter of fact, they had a vote on it, on that particular subject, and they did vote for the veterans to put in a city ordinance for veterans that they had to accept the vouchers. However, I understand from some of the agencies, they're still having trouble with that even veterans are having a hard time using their vouchers, that landlords are coming up with loopholes. However, I have heard that the Dallas Housing Authority is working on a program that will supplement that voucher, that will, so that the barriers involved in them turning down those vouchers can be overcome. And so we all know there's no saying, but money talks. So it comes down basically to money. That that to make it financially lucrative for the landlord, make it to their advantage to accept those vouchers, where the way it is right now, it's to their disadvantage evidently, that because they have to go through an inspection process and.
We've been doing some
barriers
talk
involved.
about that.
And so, but I have heard that the Dallas Housing Authority is working on it.
That's good.
That they are working on a program to fix the problem.
Now, I'm gonna try to get Monica to come here, and they're working on a concept where the city will do something to back the voucher. And so what I wanna do is I'm gonna see if I can get Monica to come here and let her, and then Mr. Chickarelli, you can talk directly to her.
Yeah.
And she can inform you about what they're doing, because they do have some things in the pipeline too. But see, now, wait a minute, I'm talking now.
Okay.
Okay. They do have some things in the pipeline that are designed to address that situation, compare source of simple discrimination. And a gentleman from City Square contacted me a couple of days ago, and I have to go over there and talk to them about that issue. And so that issue is a major barrier to getting out of homelessness. And like Ricky said, the council kind of like sidestepped addressing the state's ordinance. They mirrored the city ordinance with the state ordinance. And so that's why ICP is in process of litigation with the state to try to get them to correct that. Is that accurate?
Yeah, see, but here's the thing.
But wait a minute, but no, you're out of order again. Is that accurate, ma'am?
Which litigation?
Yeah, as far as the state's, or what do you call it when the state passes a law that protects only veterans and disabled when it comes down to vouchers. But that leaves about 80% of the voucher holders unprotected. And I'm fairly sure that ICP has some type of.
I know there were in conversations about it, but I'm not 100% sure of any litigation. To be honest, I just started last week. Right?
Oh, okay,
So I'm catching up.
okay.
But
Well, can you?
if I can get your contact information, I can definitely follow up with you.
Okay, all right. Now, gentleman in the back, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, in particular, as far as when you start talking about veterans, speaking about.
Can you speak a little louder?
I'm sorry. The other day, the president announced a $50 billion he's funding the VA with $50 billion. The Senate was against it, but he passed it anyway. And I think it's supposed to start taking effect in July.
Okay.
So in particular to veterans, I'm talking about.
Okay, all right.
Are you a veteran? Are you having problems?
There will be more, hopefully there will be more indicating for veterans. And, you know, at the same time as being homeless, I hope everybody, find adequate housing in the future. I don't think it should be. But, what I was going to say at the end is that he signed an executive order last year, December 21st, and he's going to be seizing assets for those who are trafficking a lot of illegal gotten gains and putting trillions back into the U.S. Treasury.
Okay.
So a lot of these things are going to be eradicated before 11/11.
Did you sign in for me? Did you sign in? Make sure you sign in. I want to contact you after the meeting. Okay, good.
Already signed in.
Okay, thank you. Did we have any other comments other than where'd Robert go? Not really talking about housing.
You had an issue. Can you bring it up right now? Because we're trying to get out here so far.
Well, the issue is I got a landlord that's doing custom trying to throw me out on the street.
Oh, okay.
In other words, we have a sewer problem, and he decided he's going to charge all the tenants $75 for sewer. Well, my lease is 9 years old, and it says everything's included. And I'm sorry if you have a sewer problem, you shouldn't be bringing people in who don't know what cannot go down toilets. It's not my responsibility for you to bring in the right kind of people.
So if I'm hearing correctly, your lease has stated that it's an all bills paid unit, right? However, the landlord has accrued a plumbing bill and he's passing it on to the tenants.
Yeah, basically, but it's not a plumbing bill from some other company. It's its own man. All it is breaking out a snake that will not clear the plug. Get rid of the plug.
I'd have to see what your lease say.
But I'm pretty much sure he may be able to do that. But I'd have to see what's in the lease. You can start by talking either to Fair Housing or Legal Aid of Northwest Texas. They can assist you with that. But because I don't know what your lease states, but I would recommend you take your lease to one of those two and see if they're able to assist you with that. Because they may, I don't know what your lease say. So since yeah, landlords do tend to pass on those costs to the tenants.
Personally, I don't care about $75 if it stays repaired. This is a 4-month process. Every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I've got sewage coming out my front door.
Wow. Okay. Any other questions or concerns? Erin, did you have anything? I was going to see if the commissioner had anything she wanted to say before she left.
No, just thanks for everybody who came last month.
What are you guys? What are you guys going to do with the information? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, we're attacking the low-hanging, easy fixes
Right.
first, and then the larger problems we're bringing back to the various organizations and committees that we're working on to talk about solutions to those. So, I mean, part of what you were talking about was the master lease program, the vouchers, which is where the city essentially becomes the renter. So, I mean, there's different.
Okay.
There's a lot of things swirling right now. Mostly what we wanted to make sure that the organizations were going in the right direction, and that meeting last month really helped us do that.
Now,
Go ahead.
now what
While I find it.
what programs does the county have that are designed to assist homelessness? Because I'm not familiar with them. Or do you have a piece of publication or a piece of paper or something you can give us?
I can send that along. I don't have it with me.
Yeah, sure.
We have very few vouchers that are mostly claimed. What we do have some rental assistance and emergency assistance programs. Mostly what we do is from a public health and a jail standpoint.
Oh, okay.
So people in the jail that are homeless, we assist a lot. People that are, in mental health facilities or at Parkland, we assist a lot. But as far as the city's the first contact for people who are experiencing homelessness that aren't in one of those two situations.
I'm going to jail.
So,
Robert,
I'm talking now.
right.
Dude, okay, so, what we're trying to do is keep people out of jail that don't need to be in jail.
Right.
Get assistance other ways, and that's why we're partnering with
The city.
Hey,
Robert.
If you keep
Zip
on,
it.
the next time I have to say something, even this meeting, the next meeting you come here with that, I'm gonna have you escorted out of here. Okay? Now I'm tired, we just told you.
So, one of the things I'd like to see on the agenda that you guys talk about is that payer source discrimination that Mr. Holman keeps bringing up to keep it on fresh in the back of our minds. I'd like to see some conversation around that because that, he's a victim of it. We see it happen all the time. With our flex fund, we pay extra fees to, help people get in.
Okay.
So if that could be added, that would be much appreciated from this forum.
It has come up. I don't know that it's gotten the attention that
Right.
lack of available housing stock or other things has, but
Yep.
it has come up.
Okay.
So I will definitely bring that to
Right.
your attention.
Okay. We hear that we're hearing that more and more.
Is it primarily vouchers that are being?
It stems from vouchers, but since we don't have as many vouchers floating around now, we're getting it from some homeless clients as well,
Okay.
where the landlord may know that they're homeless, and so or they're telling them, well, you got to pay an extra this or extra that, and so then they end up paying 2 times the month's rent to move in. For instance, one family needed to pay, the rent was $1,000, and they basically had to pay an additional $2,000 plus the rent to move in. So it was like $3,000. So they're charging them like a risk fee. Yeah.
Okay. Have you brought that to Fair Housing?
I have not.
Yeah, 'cause I think that might be.
Well, they're calling it a high risk fee, and it's their fee for accepting a client who's had several evictions or a risky background and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, no, understood. And I'll definitely bring that to Commissioner's attention, but I would also put a bug in Fair Housing.
Okay.
Because
I will.
I know that it's illegal, but they at least need to know it's happening.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have? Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
I just realized, let me just clarify something, based on my own personal experience a few years ago. Now, when you're talking about the vouchers, are you referring to Section 8 specifically, or are there different kind of voucher programs?
That's where we're referring to Section 8.
Okay, because my personal experience in another state was, I was able to get a Section 8 certificate, which was good for a year. I don't know how they're doing it now. But at that point in time, the Section 8 voucher I had was good for a year, and the whole year, and I was persistent in anybody I know, the whole year I couldn't get anybody else to take, anybody taking it all. Mm-hmm. And I went all over, the entire area that was covered by this section.
That's what we're talking about.
Anybody to take it, and a couple of cases, I had the manager take me out in the hall and tell me that he would take it, and they gave him a couple of $1,000s under the table.
Yep.
And I reported that, and he ended up getting arrested because he had a warrant too.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
The manager had a warrant.
Mm-hmm.
So these people are.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about with the payer source discrimination it's just that is.
It's like you're kind of like powerless unless you get an agency or somebody in authority to back you up.
That's what we're talking about with this form of discrimination. It's where they have apartments available, and the voucher will pay the amount that they're asking for, but they don't want to rent to you because you have a voucher. So that's what we're talking about.
Or they want full market value. The voucher won't pay them that.
In some cases, the voucher will pay it. It depends on what the landlord is asking, and it's per the zip code. But
you know what I'm saying? Because I've had people who have vouchers in the Dallas
right.
area tell me that they have gone to different places, and how much the voucher will cover depends on the zip code they
That's
go
correct.
To.
That's correct. That's correct.
Because they didn't do that. Well, I mean, when I had the Section 8, it didn't do that by zip code. It covered the whole area.
No, it's by zip code now.
And I went to hundreds of places, and none of them would take it.
All right. Any other comments or anything? Yes.
Yes. I'm having a problem with we call it shelters. They think it's housing. Apparently, we're translating shelter as far as being housing.
Who's translating that?
Well, newspapers and the unsheltered
media
under the bridge. I believe shelters is unsheltered because if you're on the street during the day, you got to bring your bags with you. Okay, you got to wait in the lines. So it's really you're being unsheltered because it's not a residence. Okay, you don't pay rent. You only stay there a few hours, and you have to leave.
Well, that's an interesting way to look at it.
What I'm trying to say is, though, I really like to see sheltered and homeless.
Okay.
Instead of, because people believe, it looks like the newspapers and the committees, sheltered is housing. No.
I got you. That's an interesting perspective.
Because Casey Thomas wondered, well, how many people are unsheltered? Well, I consider sheltered unsheltered because you're still at the chaos. They don't like going to the bridge the way it's treated, and they don't like the shelters. And so I'm just saying to you is that we got to change that thinking that shelters is unsheltered being homeless. And we have that thinking, we can get a lot of things get done, but these pop-up shelters, it's going to be a mess. We saw what happened last month with the bridge. They didn't like them. The staff might treat them lousy. Okay, It's going to be a big mess, and it's going to take a while. They have all these different meetings with the areas, committee meetings and people, public meetings, and in California, $1.2 billion package, Siobhan. In 2016, they can't spend any money because the city council members in California, they don't want them in their area. And we do know city council members, I've told you, do not like the homeless. I would say 75-80%. Oh, Eric Hill, he was a pro tem. He said only 2 city council members like the homeless. Okay, 12 out of 15 don't like it. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's a very uphill battle, and just the pop-up shelters, sexual murderers, sexual rapists, that's what the people are going to be talking about in their area.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Well, I'm going to adjourn today.
Right.
So I'll see you guys next month. Make sure you signed in.
All right.
Make sure you signed in so that
You want to talk to them? We appreciate you coming off your vacation.
Yeah, thanks.
That's pretty awesome.
All right. So the meeting is adjourned. See you guys next month. Same time, same station.
Don't
This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please leave comments below, or like, follow, or subscribe to us and get notices of all our videos. We love it, even when you call.